has an enormous impact on how well drivers can prevent accidents and be prepared for situations that are going to be dangerous.
We probably have at least 14 million commercial driver's license holders out there at any given time. And we know that there are over 300,000 crashes a year of large trucks. We think that around a third of all crashes are probably related to fatigue in this group.
For commercial drivers, we know that falling asleep driving is a very big risk for the major crashes in commercial drivers, and obviously there can be a lot of damage and lives lost and so on, and many times it's not the driver of the commercial vehicle, but it's the public who are damaged by that.
But when we're chronically sleep deprived, our body takes that as an emergency. It's like we need sleep to live. If we're not getting enough sleep, our body's like, this is an emergency. I've got to shift my entire metabolism for this emergency. So we're more likely to have a stress response that makes our blood pressure higher, that makes it more likely that we have a stroke, that makes our heartbeat higher, that increases our cortisol levels, that increases our inflammatory response, that makes us want junk food, that makes us turn down our metabolism so we save energy, and which makes us gain weight. So when we're not getting enough sleep, it changes almost everything about our body. Just not getting enough sleep on one night is enough to change 700 genes in your body the next day.
I think this is something that non-truck drivers should understand about truck drivers, is they have a tremendous amount of knowledge about not only what happens with the trucking industry and their own jobs, but what's happening on public roadways. You are constantly trying to be aware of everything in that environment that might create a situation in which you're going to have to prevent an accident. Constant, responsibility of that truck driver to ensure that they're, moving that vehicle safely. You can pretty easily pick up on cars that are a potential problem if you're paying attention, if you're alert.
So trucking, for example, is a 24/7 operation, right? There are truck drivers who work overnight. And those are the periods where we become very sleepy, and there's a specific time of night between midnight and the morning when we're the sleepiest of all because of our circadian rhythm.
A circadian rhythm is basically a cycle, a 24-hour cycle. It's actually in every cell of our body, a cycle of when certain proteins are produced and when certain things happen. But in the brain, our circadian rhythm coordinates so that we feel more tired at certain times of day that help us sleep.